here at the HCS Kansas City Major. It's been an unbelievable weekend of Halo Infinite, and we are poised here set up for a fantastic grand final.
And what a venue and what a place it's been to hold what has been a historic event so far. KC has not disappointed. Every single person who's been out there in the crowd has been given us so much energy throughout the weekend, and I'm sure these players have been preparing to put on a similar series, which is, deserving the effort that's been put in by the local crowd. And the break here is going to be a pretty standoffish position between the two teams, but it looks like Cloud9 have managed to scoop up that ball and get a few points on the board.
It's a good push from Sentinels. Take a look at this. They send players top goal. They also send players pipes. They will trade out 2 for 1. That will also give them some ball control here on that ledge.
Looks like they will have, as you say, semblance of setup here. They do have information of where those spawns are going to be coming in. Also, it looks like Sentinels are picking up a couple of kills across the board, which is just going to help them stagger those spawns. Good early turn coming in here for Sentinels. Snakebite going to be our POV to watch for now. He's got the Commando in hand as well to stretch some shields.
Still 2 dead here for C9, and has Sentinels ever showed up this week and almost gets the back whack. No Snakebite against Renegade, but Renegade's long haul push ends up looking good. He'll stay alive at bottom gold as well.
Good early time coming in here though from Sentinels. Looking across the statistics right at the start of this game, you can see everybody pretty much level across the board. Maybe it's going to take Penguin, the man who is the jack of all trades and the master of many, to break down what has been a solid start here from Sentinels. He managed to pick up a few kills on his way forward there. Stella's managed to escape with that oddball as well. And it looks like a little bit of a rotation coming in towards that long haul. Maybe a play ball on the menu here for Stella.
The man on your screen. Questions have been asked of Lethal. So far, he has answered. And if Sentinels were to win this event, I think if Grapple's attempt of the camo does not hit, Lethal can't get out there. You have to think if Sentinels wins this, we might stop hearing about the questions about Lethal. Is he on par? Is he where he used to be? Big series here for the entire squad.
I think a lot of questions have been answered by the Sentinels lineup so far at the KC Major. For now, though, you can see the camo bow is going to be going down. It looks like it will have been burnt down bottom middle. 3 players have fallen for Sentinels, as now it's going to be a little bit of progress, maybe towards that oddball. Royal 2 with a repulsor. Penguin going to get a little bit of assistance from Eco to pick up that kill onto Royal 2.
Worth noting here the difference in slays across the board so far. Sentinels is outslaying Cloud9 22-15 already. It's a great start for them in the kill department.
Penguin's going to be able to pick up the oddball here, but unfortunately for him, a couple of players have already fallen surrounding him. The last player alive for just a few moments, and that's why Snakebite is able to pressure him without really taking too much fire. Eco has managed to rotate off of the respawn, and now will have to hold. Royal 2 is going to be the player who'll get the trade. Another player from Sentinels looking to flood in as well, but a couple of shots in the back for the respawners. They're going to make this a tough battle here for Frosty. He takes down Stella, but Penguin's there to exchange.
3 dead for just a second for Sentinels, but you can tell they're applying the pressure. Here's Snakebite around the corner with Penguin.
And again, Penguin just playing that corner sneaky. He's going to be the bait for Renegade to step in and pick up the kills that he needs to. There's the repulsor again, and there's Penguin with yet another kill. Penguin starting off pretty well here, leading the line for Cloud9 in slays. He's sat at 8 and 7.
Lucky timing there with that play ball. Buy Sentinels a little bit of extra time. They will maintain their lead purely because that ball had reset out of pipes. But Cloud9 will maintain control of pipes as well as the shot.
Frosty and Lethal pick up kills. Renegade looking to pick up the pieces on the damage that was done, but now he's just getting flown at. Lethal just gets his wings clipped as he flies through to try and clean up Renegade. Main Slayer here for Cloud9 survives for now. Shock rifle in his hands. Frosty going to show a shoulder. Renegade going to show him the death screen.
Penguin picks up another one bottom middle. Needs to be careful with this camo. You can tell the Cloud9 knows how much pressure is on them. And how different this year will be. How different the first season of Halo Infinite will be if they were to fall here.
One interesting thing to note here. After that early hold that did come in from Sentinels, there really hasn't been any semblance of a setup or a hold from either team. It's been a little bit of scrappy time coming in from Cloud9. Sentinels been more than willing to try and slay out, try and match them kill for kill, knowing that they have that lead, knowing that they've done that hard work. But at the moment, it seems like most of the battles have just been happening in and around pipes.
Yeah, it really has been, just all around. Batteries around pipes, and it's really just battle for control. And I think what that tells us on that is just how much these two teams respect each other. They want a little bit more slaying control before they go for that ball time. And take a look at the clock. We're under a minute left already. 29 to 33, not that many points on the board in terms of ball time.
Well, now the kills have been picked up. It's the opportunity the C9 have been looking for to get their hands on that Oddball. The collapse is going to come in here. Renegade on the flank. Cuts across the mid-bridge and picks up two. Stella trying to get his hands on the ball. Snakebite trying to do what he can off respawn alongside Lethal just to keep Stella off the ball. And they've managed to do it for now.
And isn't this what Cloud9 does? They wait for the right moment to strike. It's a 2-point game with 30 seconds left.
Such thin margins though in this game. Very, very thin margins. There's Royal 2. He'll win an important battle, traded out immediately. Stella picks up 2. That's going to be Sentinels finding themselves 3 dead. And Penguin says, not only am I going to grab the ball, but maybe
oh boy,
I'm going to win the round here. It's a 2-point advantage. Penguin's trying to escape. He's trying to throw the ball away as well. Such a smart play from Penguin. Renegade's going to grab the camo. Sentinels have 10 seconds to get their hands on the ball. All the players here from Cloud9 will fall. And Sentinels look like with the ball being moved back towards C here, they should be able to get the play ball if needed.
Still 2 dead. Time will tick down to 0. That's it. 38 to 35. Sentinels will take your first round of recharge Oddball.
Level of form we've been waiting for. We called him the sleeping giant coming into this event, and you can see exactly why. We know what they're capable of, and after that first round of Oddball, it was a nervy one, I think, for both teams. So many 2v2 battles around pipes consistently happening. Trade. I thought at the end there, Penguin might have made the play of the game, though, the play of the round, by throwing that ball out. But unfortunately for him, just the spades fell at the wrong time for C9. And Frosty was able to grab that ball and rotate to C.
Let's not forget, the reason Penguin played that ball was because he did not get the bat ledge jump. I don't know what happens if C9 gets that ball into pipes. It could be a very different round. They had numbers around pipes as well as batteries. Maybe an opportunity there and a missed opportunity. It's a rare one for C9. And we're starting to see Sentinels apply the right level of aggression. And in doing so, a little bit of cracks in the C9 armor.
Also seeing very important individual battles being won just at the right time. Royal 2, one of those battles just at the end of that round. It was traded out immediately, but it means that it's a 1v1 instead of a 2v1 in those kind of situations where that ball is down and Cloud9 are desperately trying to move towards that ball to just scrape those few seconds to get the lead. But it was a very interesting pace to that game. Like I mentioned, kind of halfway through, there was one hold from Sentinels, really consistent setup hold, where they got 20, 30 seconds. And then from there, they were happy just to bait that ball, to try and slay out against C9, which I think just shows a level of confidence here from Sentinels, that they know what they've got to do here.
We should also check in on the kills overall from that first round. 49 to 43 in favor of Sentinels. They maintained the outslaying advantage throughout the entirety of that round. Also, Snakebite, the man in charge, 17 and 12.
17 and 12, and I think Snakebite, even though there's been understandable trials and tribulations for this Sentinels roster, throughout the year so far, since the launch of Halo Infinite, he has been the consistent. He has been popping off every single tournament, regardless of the lineup, whoever's been there. He's been the standout for me on Sentinels.
Yeah, it's so rare you see him make any kind of mistake in game. I think in the last series we watched, he was tested, absolutely put on a show, and as you watch his POV, you feel like every time we're on a screen, he's going to make the right decisions for his team in every given moment.
100%. We'll have a quick look at the end of that round. As it was Sentinels who managed to close things out. A couple of plays coming in just at the end of this game that I need to highlight here. The double grenades onto batteries. As small as it seems, it stops that ball being collected by Stella. That means that Renegade has to make some different decisions. The timing is off on then trying to push because he knows that both those players can challenge. Renegade has to try and rotate. Small kill, but a big aftershock from it. That is what almost won Sentinels that round.
Also, look at the 1v1s that we're seeing here so many times. Here's the play. Look, Penguin, this is a standard bat ledge jump. Can't go into pipes there. You see the teammates here. Instead, he has to play ball out. Tried to maybe get around the corner, but right away saw there was presence in pipes. They're a little bit too spread out here. Yes, they burned that last camo, but take a look. 10 seconds on the clock. It's an easy walk here to C flat for the last few seconds of the match.
There was a little nervy moment there as well as that frag grenade bounced back and introduced itself to the body of Frosty. We have seen some funny things happen sometimes with the Geo and the grenades not quite going where intended, but in that circumstance, luckily for Frosty, it didn't cost them too much as they do manage to close out the round. We'll get the game restarted in the background as well, so we will be getting into our second round very, very soon. soon, but Sentinels coming out of the gate strong, which I think is important considering that Cloud9 just came off the back of such a big result against Optic Gaming.
Really big result against Optic Gaming. Just in case you're just joining us here, a big win and shutting down Optic Gaming time and time again with some heartbreaking defeats for the Green Wall. Now they've earned their spot back here in the finals, where you would expect Cloud9 to be, but after a tough first round, they find themselves once again on the back foot. And I think Sentinels is moving to us and reminding us that they are a championship Sunday squad, and if you give them more and more time on a Sunday, the later they get into the evening on the main stage, historically, they do pretty damn well.
They do pretty damn well. Double do's there, but it's certainly going to prove the point that you're trying to say, right? This is a championship caliber team, and I think it's always been the talk about Sentinels, like, when's it going to happen? It's not if it's going to happen.
Oh, never a doubt.
It's when is it going to happen? It seems like KC, like we said, is the return to form from them. They're in the grand final, but it's the style in which they've done it which has been interesting for me, because yesterday they didn't look brilliant. Right. Sentinels, a couple of game 5s, Quadrant, arguably maybe should have won the series against Sentinels, throwing away a difficult result on Street Strongholds, but they come through it. They come through it, they show resilience, and I don't know if there's been a better roster over time that wins game 5s when it matters than the 4 gentlemen you can see on your screen.
And when you and I were backstage watching some of those games yesterday, even when it went to game 5, even when it was tied, you and I looked at each other, we said, Sentinels don't lose game 5s, this one is over. They did it time and time again this weekend. And if you're on the Sentinels side, what I love about this team is they don't really care what it took to get there. They're going to get there, and then they're going to give it their all in the grand finals. What an opportunity for them here to only need the one series win. C9 so used to being on the other side of the bracket and other teams needing to reset. Instead, Sentinels knows they're only 4 games away from becoming champions yet again.
When you say it like that, it seems so close. Seems like they can almost taste it, and I'm sure so that's running through their minds right now. But before they get there, they've obviously got to win those games. As we jump back into the action now. Thank you so much for staying with us while we got the game reset up and ready to go. Maybe the Kansas City crowd just needed a few seconds just to catch their breaths, because they've been going hard all weekend long. But for now, we'll take a quick look at some of the statistics of these two teams before we jump back into this. Just to remind you, it's going to be 1-0 in rounds here to Sentinels. Cloud9 looking down the barrel of a first map defeat.
Massive opportunity for Sentinels. They can strike first and they can strike hard if they take this game 1. And my God, what a start for them. 3 dead. They will also grab the ball, rotate Whirlpool.
Renegade trying to challenge, and Renegade will win that battle as well. It's going to take things like that to slow down the momentum here. The Sentinels seem to have found throughout this tournament. Royal 2 going to escape with the camo as well. There's a cheeky back smack. And it looks like not only have they got camo, they've got the shock rifle, and they've got that lead.
Little rotate as well, already over to C. They have the ball in a play ball position if they need to. Still 2 dead.
Penguin just sliding away bottom middle. Royal 2. Jump scare for Renegade. Renegade survives for now. Royal 2 taken down.
But time on the board for Sentinel. Snakebite just waiting to play ball. Knows that opportunity will come soon. The ball will play. Penguin will clear out back C with help. However, still 28 points on the board for Sentinels.
Very similar to what we saw in the first round, right? The opening rush won by Sentinels. The opening hold won by Sentinels. And a very similar amount of time. Now, Cloud9 were pretty much trading 1 for 1. They need to organize themselves a little bit more here. They can't afford to let those trades come in as easily. Otherwise, Sentinels will just keep holding this ball, keep holding this lead. And Cloud9, unfortunately, won't be able to win this round.
Momentary 2v2. Penguin does a nice job to isolate the bottom mid battles. Eventually, he will fall in the end. So still a 2v2 on both sides of the map. Frosty now with shock in hand. Oof, my God.
Switches to the BR. Just to clean up that kill on batteries. First time we've seen Sentinels lose multiple players on the map, though. Camo going to be popping up onto our screens and into the game in a few moments as well. 1 second left before the power-up becomes present. Here's Royal 2. There's a beatdown coming in from Eco, but even though Eco wins that battle elsewhere on the map, every single member of Cloud9 falls into the death screen, and Eco still under pressure here from the Sentinels lineup.
Eco last player alive, and finally he will be taken down. They will continue to keep that spawn trap going. Cloud9 needs to wait for each other now, because Sentinels continue to put points on the board. Just about at that 40-point mark. Unanswered points, by the way.
Trey comes in between the two teams. 3 dead once again for Cloud9, though. Stella's going to be last alive. Royal 2's got the first shot on him as well, which means Cloud9, an assassin, is going to have to quietly try and get out of danger, but Frosty's going to chase him down. And Frosty trying to keep the pressure on C9 here. 2 fall again for Cloud9. The ball's still down bomb center.
Big life here for Royal 2. Needs to stay alive back elevator. You can tell by the way he's playing. He knows it. Gonna also try to rotate out of control, but they're a bit spread out here. They've got presence on bottom gold. They got presence on pipes. Need to make sure they play tight here as the ball will reset.
First time we've seen the first kill going into the favor of Cloud9 for quite some time. Here comes the push. Frosty's gonna trade one out. Onto Penguin off of the back of that, but you can see that Cloud9 are taking the opportunity now to move that ball into pipes. Pretty solid looking setup here for Cloud9 as well. There's a super combine as Renegade gets a little bit fancy. Dips his hands into the sandbox for just a few moments here. Lethal also managing to trade one out, but this is the first time we've seen a successful pipe setup. And any kind of hole coming in from Cloud9, and it's bringing them closer. It's dragging them back towards that Sentinels lead. But here comes the grenades, and here comes the pressure once again from Sen.
2 dead, 3 dead there on that pipes push, and Sentinels is looking too good. Some cheers in the crowd. Cloud9 is 3 dead. Let's see what Seller can do here. He will get swarmed, and Cloud9 finds themselves over 20 points down. Let's go back over here to Cloud9 and see what they can do with an Astro. Listen.
Ellie's one shot lethal.
Ballard's row 2 sniping.
We gotta kill this guy.
Ballard's row 2 sniping and it's on red as well. Last one shot, he's blinking.
Last one.
Last blinking. Still there? You guys see him. Saw you.
He's dead.
Ballard's.
Ballage and 2 guys Ellie's.
Snipe me. I wanted to push this shit.
Top
Is he
red
bumping on the commando?
I'm about to jump up to run with you.
He's on the commando. Bottom mid.
Yeah, we can push this. Top red, row 2.
C-plan or something.
Top red 1, row 2.
One shot, bottom elevator. Lethal's one. Lethal's one.
He's one.
Your last one.
Live up.
2 guys on me. Bottom Ellie's.
Turbine.
There's one C, guys. There's one C, guys.
One shot bottom Ellie's.
Am I trying to rotate it here?
Guys, they're just running.
Well, things sound a little bit hectic, a little bit frantic here for Cloud9. Not what we're used to hearing from them. And off the back of that,
Yikes.
not only is Royal 2 repeating the dosage that a couple of teams have felt already today with that shock rifle, Sentinels have a much more dangerous looking lead here as they cross the 70-point mark.
Look at this, World 2 just playing so peaky, just getting information that whole time while his shields recharge. And also heating up with this shock rifle. Now only 20 points away from closing this out.
Renegade clearing the way though. And has the Oddball somehow after picking up the double kill. So Cloud9 starting to put some pieces together. Royal 2 trying to keep the pressure on. The first time now we've seen Cloud9 get that ball back to C. Frosty has managed to sneak into bottom tower though. And Eco's not too aware of that. Snakebite causing a distraction. Lethal backing him up by picking up the double. And Renegade now forced to play.
They forced to play ball again. It's great stuff once again from Sentinels. And Stellar last player alive. Again, how rarely do we see this, where we see 3 dead repeatedly for the side of Cloud9. Not something we are used to seeing on screen.
Oh, goodness me!
Like, he got more medals than could fit on the screen.
Off the back of that ridiculous shot coming in once again from Royal 2. Snakebite tries to force a little bit more time. 2 falls for Sentinels, but here is Frosty. The kills work at the right time. It opens the map up for Frosty to pick up the power up. And now if you're Cloud9, you're starting to worry. There's around 45 seconds left in this round. Unfortunately, it looks like one player might have fallen out, but I will say this, Sentinels look like they were on their way to closing out that second round of our grand final.
They really, really do. It sounds like a player did drop out there, so we'll get that one restarted again. Apologies. It's an opportunity, though, to take a look at the stats. And we have to talk about Renegade, number 3 highest damage overall per minute in the league. Not far behind that, of course, is a lot of the players that are on the side of
getting 20, 30 seconds. C9 can't afford that this time. Otherwise, that could be the map disappearing in front of their eyes.
They went 2v1 again. So far, a man advantage on screen. Should be a camo grab here for Royal 2. He will grab that. They will go 2v2 off of the opening, though, so Cloud9 with a little bit better opening to start this second round.
Desperately trying to hunt Royal 2 down as well, and somehow the man survives for now. And now he's going to have to flank. The patience pays off. Renegade has no idea that Royal 2's behind him. Stella going to take damage. Royal 2 evens up the numbers. 3 dead here for C9.
I don't think we've ever seen Cloud9 with 3 dead this many times in a series, let alone in a game 1. This is quite a tone setter for the rest of the grand finals.
Again, the pipes push is relentless. The battle in this pipes area a little bit cleaner. Lethal comes in to trade things out. Renegade was flanking through Turbine though, which has put Sentinels on the back foot for now, but Frosty's there to help out Lethal. There's a repulsor as well, just to force away some of this damage and maybe force away a couple of players.
You gotta think, Sentinels is thinking, if we play a little bit more Slayer heavy Oddball, this could lean into our favor. Make sure that when we grab, we have control. Just deny the ball, get enough points on the board, they can see themselves through this game, number one.
I mentioned how the start of games has been pretty similar so far. Royal 2 though, is continuing the form that we've seen so far, but the story a little bit different here, Andy. You can see at the bottom of your screen the score. Barely any touches on that oddball for either side, and if you're Cloud9 with the way things have been going, you would say that they'd be happier than they have been previously, but Lethal does his best Scorpion impression and says to that ball, get over here.
Lethal's gonna scoop that ball right up. Sentinels fans in the arena getting loud already for a few points on the board for Sentinels. Make that only 45 points needed for Sentinels.
All of a sudden, they're starting to roll again. Frosty popping up in the feed, double kill. Opening damage. And now he's flanking down bottom middle. He picked up that camo, he scooped up that camo, and now he's gonna pick up a killing spree. Great reticle placement, great wins, and a nice trade as well. Sentinels with a 19 points on the board already over the C9-2, but just a reminder, they only need 55.
Stellar trying to get maybe some kind of play ball, and he really does. He gets that ball bottom middle, but it was all he could do in that moment. He doesn't get it far enough. Snakebite's gonna grab, and they will continue scoring.
Snakebite's gonna be able to get this one back towards C as well. And with 2 players dead for Cloud9, he's gonna take a couple of shots, he's gonna get that information, and look at that kill feed. It lights up in red.
4 dead.
4 dead here for C9.
This could be it.
Frosty's gonna get the sword as well, and as you say, this could well be it. They only need around 15 seconds at this point to close out map number 1. It's almost a final push here, coming in for Cloud9.
They bait the C stairs push. It's tough though. Frosty hoping they would go control, they didn't, but the rotate goes all the way around to gold.
Look at that rotate, as you say, they've got the ball all the way back to gold. Frosty is now on the flank essentially. They only need 5, 6, 7, 8 points now to close this one out. And Frosty is just being a nuisance. Stellar forces the ball back into Turbine, but as I say, it's forced. 3 players once again fall for Cloud9. Renegade's got no chance of getting eyes on that ball. He's taken down as well. And with that, Lethal moves the ball back into pipes, and Sentinels will go up by 1.
Oh my word. We have never seen Sentinels looking this good in Halo Infinite, and you have certainly never seen Cloud9 on the receiving end of a defeat like that in a grand finals. That is quite a game number 1 from Sentinels, and I think if you had asked anyone, would we see a score line like that in a game 1 against Cloud9, very few would have told you that it might look that dominating from Sentinels. They will take the first game.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary is scary. Sentinels is the only word that jumps to mind at the moment when I'm looking at how ruthlessly this team is playing right now, playing for each other,